Got it.
I'm gonna cut on my light real quick. 1 second.
Your lighting's pretty tasty.
Is it good? Okay.
Yeah, I think you have good lighting.
All right.
Redirecting you to the tube. Okay, let's see if I can. I got it. I'm about to get like. Let me get that turned off. One skip. All right, there we are. Okay, we're live. Whoa, this is the illusion, and Jordan reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. What's going on, my brother?
Lots, man. Just trying to keep it copacetic. Everything's good.
I get it.
Everything's good, man. How about yourself? How's family and everyone?
We're good. You know, just going through the trials and tribulations of life, and you know, some days are plus, some days are not so plus. We're on a plus day today, man. My cool thing I did was I harvested my seeds from my radishes. I let go to seeds, so I got my 2nd generation radish seeds right there.
Nice.
And I just let 2 of them go to seed, and I got this fall's crop ready to go.
Nice.
God will provide.
Absolutely.
Had a gnarly session at church today. Church was hectic. Our pastor was on fire. You know, talking freedom, dude. What's going on at the mosque?
Well, today was interesting. We had a really nice event. It was students have been studying for about 10 years, and they were graduating today from what's called a Bukhari Sharif, which is like the it's a narrations of the Prophet Muhammad and his whole life, and they basically go through the whole entire volumes. I don't know how many volumes there are. There's quite a lot. It's a 10-year process of becoming a scholar. So they graduated today, about 8 or 9 scholars today. And it was fascinating because a lot of these guys were like doing this part-time, or doing it not part-time, like doing it full-time, but they were doing, one of them was my friend Kauthar. He's the chaplain at San Quentin prison for the past 10 years. So when he was doing his scholarship in Islamic studies, he was also the chaplain at San Quentin. And then you had other kids that were doing like, basically like they were engineers, they became engineers, and they also got their degree in Islamic studies. So it was basically a graduation party or ceremony. It was nice.
Awesome. People moving into the next timeline. How's morale up there?
I think it's good. I mean, amongst our community, it's nothing stands out, you know. I mean, it's just kind of majority of our community members still wear masks and believe in the vaccine and all that, you know, and that believe in that, and everyone's going to do what they're going to do, but they're you know, it's that's a strange thing, but it's morale's high, you know, considering, you know.
Yeah, I get it. We're moving.
A lot to unpack there, but
I get it. No,
I'm trying to have a, you know, I'm just trying to be more understanding, even though I'm infuriated at the same time.
Yeah, well, you know, I was tripping this week. This week's been a struggle, and you know, I'm really touch base a little bit when we talked earlier this week, but I think for me, like I've been kind of shocked at what we've been digging into. And I was talking about on one of my
highlight of my, go ahead. That's been a big theme of my whole week for sure since our last.
Yeah, I sort of, I had an empathy for people that are still asleep, let's say, that are caught up in what's going on now and blindly trusting whatever and just going about their life and going, what's the big deal, right? I think that was me with skateboarding up until 3 weeks ago. And then we really kind of hit home how gnarly it was last week. And I have to admit, man, if that for a fully awake person who's experienced the hustle on many life factors and been battling against the hustle most of his life, to have it come home to like my freedom platform, if you will, like when I go skateboard, I just go because it's a freedom. I don't really think in it. I've never thought about skateboarding ever in a negative light. Ever. Like I've always viewed it as very much the answer, right? And so when we started to dig into some of this darker stuff and the hustle, I was pretty bummed after, like Monday after this last one, I was pretty like shook up. And then we had like the dude in our community started posting the no assholes welcome here stuff. If you're not all sauced up, you're not welcome in a shop. And this week's been an energetically tough thing, and to kind of get, make it this far as I've been through the whole process. Right. But for me, yeah, I've been slightly horrified of the dark underbelly of skateboarding that's being propagated by the globalist, the global agenda. So it's been a struggle on that level, man.
Yeah. 1 second, God. Who is it? Okay, Daddy's on the phone. He's coming later. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. I got the same thing going on. And a cat.
I'm gonna say, I feel you, bro. I went to the skate park today and I let my kids ride, and I'm like, I didn't even want to step on my board, and I know that's probably terrible, but I'm just like, sometimes because I'm a pretty, I can get like pretty emo when it comes to certain things. I'm just like, I don't want to look at it right now. I need to take a break from it. That's how I felt. That's fine. I mean, I have other things that I can do to even though I might get harshed on for saying it, but I have other things I can do that keep me, stress-free. And, skateboarding is not the only thing I have. Although I'll take a week off and I go back Tuesday. I'm going to go skate, but that's.
You go back. No, I get it. It's been somewhat of a, shock, man. I can even, I guess that the train hasn't derailed on the shock level of the thing. So one of the things that I think we have is I have some people outside that are in the community that sending me a lot of information, like,
yeah,
like my bro out in Santa Fe. He's just been data dumping me, and all, like, it's actually more crazy than I thought, the globalist agenda within skateboarding.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what you brought, if you want to go first, or because I have a little tail ender for last week's, right? We were doing the Liquid Death and the tie-in back to Skatistan and the Birdman and the whole thing. And dude, that dude's just all like keeps coming up, dude. Like I can't go anywhere without that dude's mug.
Yeah, I personally don't like Tony anymore. Like I don't like him, although I respect him as a not. The caveat is respect him as everyone as a human being deserves.
Everyone's got a chance, man.
Deserves respect and given a compassionate chance, and that's there. I don't wish any ill on him, but I just don't like him, nor do I want to be around people like that.
Well, so so when we stumbled into this thing a couple weeks ago with the Skatistan and the dude in Nepal and the UN and the whole thing, right? Like, I think both of us were still, as much as we didn't want to, might have slipped him the like, yeah, well, maybe just accidental idiot card. And you just happen to be here because you're that dude.
Yeah.
And then last week again, it tied in with the blood thing and the Nas X stuff. And so you had given me an interesting lead to go, who's representing Little Nas X agency wise, talent agency wise, and who's representing Tony Hawk agency wise.
Exactly.
Well, guess lo and behold, here, this is my first
Adam
thing.
Lieber, but yeah,
All right, here I got this.
Interesting.
Yeah, I got this. This is what I got for you. So if we
No surprise,
go back,
by the way. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
if we go back, I'm still trying to dial in. So if we go back, we were shot that, like, we left off last week as Hawk and Little Nas X were estranged because Nas X was pissed at Tony that he was taking his blood sacrifice stuff mainstream, and Little Nas X had been shunned because of copyright violations, right? Well, this came out pretty much the next day. So the next day, Hawk and Little Nas X are buddies, dude.
That was a full media pump and dump, right?
Well,
there.
media pump and dump. What's so interesting is when I dug a little bit more, so this is an ad talent agency. Yes, we do things, brand strategy and experience design, integrated campaign development, execution, content creation, distribution, bespoke product development, blah, blah, blah. Your whole thing, marketing, skywriting, the whole thing. So this talent agency, who is one of the founding members of it? Oh, the Birdman is co-founder, chairman of the board of DeCal. DeCal is a talent agency and a marketing agency. We are a strategic creative agency uniquely qualified to solve diverse spectrum of brand marketing challenges, specializing in contemporary brand development, speed of culture creation, and brand activations. An inch wide with an agency pros, a mile deep with cultural provocateurs. Our unique 80-20 composition allows us to partner on planning that doesn't smell like strategy and invent things that don't look like advertising. We can be your in-house agency's Huckleberry, your full stack AOR, or project-based consultants. Either way, we're not selling services, we're solving challenges. So this whole thing with Nas X and Tony Hawk is 100% contrived.
100%.
Contrived. And again, is where I think that you and I are alarmed, is this is being marketed towards children and hiding behind drinking water and involving saving children around the world.
This
right?
was the reason. This was the means to the end, which was, they wanted to get Little Nas and the audience of Tony Hawk, all these children, they wanted to bring them over. Now if you look at the manager of Little Nas,
yeah, go.
Adam Lieber.
Do you have a screen up? Should I stop sharing?
Yeah. I'll and this is where the same sort of methodology is always applied. Let me
So you're gonna dip into the Little Nas thing, because I'll finish. I'll just segue you right in, because I just
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, go.
Well, since we don't do any pre-planning, we got we're figuring out. So the thing that I thought was interesting. So this comes out the day after Little Nas and Hawk are supposedly in conflict with each other, right? And if I'm following your lead, Hawk is trying to get people over to Little Nas. And if they can, if that skating young demographic, which again, you can go to the market share stuff right here of who is the global market share of skateboarding, which is kids and adults. And it is a $1.9 billion market share of on the global level. Back to Hawk, Little Nas X. We got this thing going on with the Death Water with Hawk. He gets a bunch of publicity doing this. Little Nas X shows up. Next thing you know, they're buddies doing the thing. But what comes right on the heels of this post? This post was 6 days ago. So let's say that that young skateboarders have never heard of Little Nas X, let's say, and they go and they're like, oh, who's this? Or they get validation. They go to Little Nas X, who's tagged in Tony Hawk's page right here. Here's Tony Hawk's page where he's hyping Little Nas X with his Mysterio, I skate, I don't skate thing, right? Boom, there's Little Nas X. And now he's the Birdman, dude. So we go back to here to this. That was 6 days ago. Follow the lead. What happens like 2 days later on Little Nas's X page once you've got all these young people there? Oh, we have a pregnant man, dude. We have a pregnant man. Look at this. So Tony Hawk, let's forget he is co-founder of and chairman of the board of an unexpected alliance of unexpected ideas decal marketing agency. I'm going to turn it over to you, Jordan.
Yeah, well, no, man, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'll go ahead and share it. But essentially, that's weird. I don't know why I'm not able to share.
Are you not? It might
allows
just be a
you to
lag.
share your screen. I've got this. I've got a new computer, so let me. I might not be able to share actually now because I've got a firewall on my computer. It's a new computer. Bummer. 1 second. Click. Did I get freed? Did I get freed? I didn't get freed. Try one more time. You know what? I might not be able to do it because firewalled.
Oh, you're firewalled out?
Yeah, because I got a new rig here, and
Do you want to send me the
Yeah,
link and I'll
yeah.
post it?
Yeah, let's do that.
And then I'll get that up. So send me the first one and I'll get that up.
Okay, so let me chat it. It's a simple one. You won't find it, but that's just Wikipedia. So, but take a look at Adam Lieber from Queens, New York. So Adam represents the following associate acts. Now, Miley Cyrus, obviously, Adam has a knack for taking, managing children like Hannah Montana and turning them into Miley Cyrus. He has a knack for taking a Little Nas X and the famous song Old Town Road and garnering mass interest, knowing damn well that he's got a Manchurian candidate on his hands and they can utilize at a later date.
Okay, I got his Wikipedia page up for you.
Yeah. So Miley Cyrus, Little Nas X, Labyrinth. I don't know who that is. Noah Cyrus. I'm assuming he's a family member of Miley. But I was just thinking, it was just like, well, it makes sense that, these things are where you have a Hannah Montana, or you have, these ex-Disney people. I don't know what Little Nas's X is. I'm curious of what where he originated at. But basically, yeah, and he's birthed 1999, which is interesting, as it's a whole other thing. So Little Nas X, something about him is that he has all the numbers, as far as like the magical, he's like a magical talisman to convert masses of people, masses of young children over from the skateboard industry and from the sort of action sports, edgy industry to the sort of gender bender sort of movement, and I know it's a sensitive issue, but essentially converting them over to something, introducing them to ideas that would never be introduced to prior. So that's all. I mean, I don't have much else aside from that. It was just, I had a couple of the links, but it's just that's how it goes, and these are very, very low people. These are very low acts, like triple X Temptation. And, I mean, this guy, Adam Lieber, he'll manage anyone. He'll manage Miley. He'll manage Little Nas. He doesn't care. He'll get a Travis Scott or Avril Lavigne at Triple X Temptation. He doesn't care. He'll do anyone. He'll manage anyone. He's all for it. Total piece of work. So this is, again, subversion at its finest.
Well, I again, as I think that's a little bit of where when you see it's peripheral, right? It's what's going on with skateboarding. They're rolling out their things. So one of the things that I got sent the other day was this, which is the Barracks United Nations whole thing, so the Barracks has the United Nations logo. And if you know anything about the United Nations logo, you can deep dive on that horror show that is the United Nations. So the Barracks is all on board with the United Nations. They're doing their whole United Nations gig right here. So the UN, if we follow Skatistan, if we get into the Barracks, which is a hugely influential part of the skateboarding culture right now. I mean, they were hugely pro BLM during all of the riots and destruction, and they were propagating that whole mess.
Yep.
And you get to that thing is, so why is the UN so focused on skateboarding? It again, as it shocks me as a DIY kind of guy, is I've never viewed, if I had imagined that skateboarding was being eyed by the United Nations on my journey, I think I would have approached what I was doing a little bit differently down at City Hall, right? Like I've always figured we were sort of shadows, if you will. But we're not. And the level of it all is kind of crazy when you go. So this was the market share thing. So we're looking at right now is in 2015, skateboarding was clearing $524 million, right? It's a lot of dough when you get down to what skateboarding is, and it's just protected to grow. But again, that's the United States. And I don't think that that this global agenda really cares about the US. They're trying to get this global thing going. Again, we're back to these various groups like this one. Why skateboards? This is Skateboards of Hope, another one, which is practice skateboarding, the power to play. And it might be a totally legit thing. This gal's taking used skateboards and handing them out in underprivileged countries. Super, super legit. But when I start to see the UN involved in anything that is skateboarding now, right? Create communities, and it always comes down to this weird thing, philanthropic community, generate philanthropic communities. Philanthropy is a word that keeps coming up in this globalist takeover of skateboarding, right? And it's empowerment of skateboarding at projects in schools, developing workshops about inclusion and anti-bullying, generating philanthropic communities, right? So I go, okay, and it always has, where is community engaged leaders. And then you go to this thing. So there's this documentary going on that's Humanity Stoked, right? So Humanity Stoked. And I'm like, what's this dude got to do with skateboarding?
Yeah.
Right? What is Neil?
He's on the phone.
What does Neil deGrasse Tyson have to do with skateboarding? Right. And you go to this thing again is what is so Humanity Stoked, our philanthropy. Again, it's another thing masquerading through skateboarding with philanthropy as its core catchphrase, dude. Where I can't get this. Where's my little thing? Where are we at? Where's the cast and crew? I'm trying to cast and crew. Come on, this website. So maybe it's me. Maybe I'm over jammed my thing, dude. Oh, I'm busy right now, bud. And you know this, okay? Cast and crew. We're not getting this. Wait, where is it? I want the cast and crew to come up because there's again another whole interesting group of the usual suspects, dude, are here again, like in another charity philanthropy thing. And where's the cast and crew? Come on. This website sucks, or it's me. Damn it. Let's see if I can adjust this. Why won't this come up, dude? Because again, it's the same old characters. So who's going to be there? Who's going to be there? Jordan, you know this. Our favorite globalist person, of course, is involved with this one too. Where I wanted our philanthropy is what I want. I don't know. It won't come up. Anyway.
What is this one? Humanity Stoked?
This is Humanity Stoked. So Humanity Stoked's got a big doc. Oh, there he is. Humanity Stoked. There he is. There's our number after Negros Tyson. We got the Birdman. And where is supporters? Why won't it? Oh, wait, here we go. Let's see if that'll work. There we go. Really, it won't let me click out of this. Very difficult. Let's see if I can get cast. That's really what it's like this, all right, let me try this again. I apologize everyone for my rookiness here. So again is what I think if I see what's going on is there's giant money involved here, and they're spreading the money around, and everybody's looking to get a piece of the pie, and they're signing up with, I mean, I hate to be that dude, they're signing up with the devil as always, dude, because let's get what. So why is this philanthropist? So this dude's on the whole, I'm a philanthropist vibe, right? I'm a pro skateboarder philanthropist vibe. Then you got Nigel in here. You got all the same characters that you had over at Skate. You have the same characters. The United States Olympic team, essentially, dude, and this guy, talk about just reeking of global obey, dude. Yeah, and all the same characters.
Than that.
All right, so our philanthropy, let's understand philanthropy and humanity, right? We're getting back to this is this is skateboarding. We're talking about skateboarding is now being hijacked into this philanthropy and humanity thing. Humanity Stoked is 100% nonprofit film produced by What Stop Your Organ, a 501c3. So there's another charity organization raising money and awareness for causes that help move humanity forward in positive and more creative ways. So what are their more positive and creative ways? Again, it's the same old thing. LGBTQ rights, environmental issues, politics, legal issues. Let's understand Humanity Stoked is being produced to help promote awareness and raise funds to benefit humanity through fields of science, art, music, history, LGBTQ rights, environmental issues, politics, and legal issues. Nowhere in there is it skateboarding. It's got skateboarding in the logo. It's packed full of skateboarding, but this just veers right off the thing. This is about them having their pet project, hiding behind skateboarding to get why support art, science, and human rights, dude. Oh, we got Bill Nye right there, dude. Right? They're quoting him. Is it benign? There's your marketing directors. You know any of these guys? I don't know. I don't care. We could probably look into all of these people and just, they're all interconnected, dude. I don't know. I mean, you get where I'm tripping out. Like, I didn't really realize that that skateboarding had been hijacked by some philanthropic globalist agenda, dude. Chris Dyer, dude. Yeah, Mr. Like, let's get high guy, dude. Let's take some plant medicine, dude. I like Chris. He seems okay. But again, he just got some big stuff happening to him, dude. And where is, look at all this. So
what are all these people? What is their role in this thing? Is it just are they
theoretical physicist? He's a surfer, dude. This guy's the Skate Lab, Dr. Adrian Lethart, PhDs, activist educator. There's Skatistan. There's your boy Oliver right there. So we're all tied in through this movie that brings all these dudes together. You know, it's the whole hijacking of there's a good character right there, dude. He's struggling to try not to die. And again, it's the same characters. It's these dudes that are dying for relevancy, dude, for some. There's another character. I again, as I'm over all of these people, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because they're all up to something. I don't really know what it is. And then you come over to here and you're like, oh, let's forget about USA Skateboarding's Neil Hendricks deal, dude, with and you can get into the whole with Jules Lynn, dude, right? And then you can get into her video blowing apart what's his face, dude, of Gary Ream, dude.
Play that real quick.
What's that?
Can you play that? I
don't know if we'll get a copyright on that, man. I'm not fully sure how that works, but she basically goes on in this live thing to be, as many of you know, we were several articles in the news about Neil and his abuse, alleged abuse. I don't even know. In the ESPN article, Gary Ream stated that he was putting Neil on leave. Ironically, Gary is one of the Neil's close friends and one of the people that tried to intimidate me to stay silent, dude. And I mean, I'll read her statement right here, dude. Gary knew about this. It was reported to Safe Sport, yet he did nothing. Under Safe Sport rules, Gary was supposed to report the allegations within one day. He never did. And who's this Gary Ream guy? Is nobody. He's on. I hope the International Olympic Committee and its affiliates will demonstrate their courage to see, right? So it just seems to be quite alarming to me what's going on here. Call me crazy. What do you think? I've been talking too much.
I'm just taking it in. No, I hear you. It's a matrix of just people who have these very, at the end of the day, I think that a lot of these guys are definitely having to follow the money, and unfortunately, if you're trying to stay relevant in skateboarding, or your skateboarding is your only means of earning, and not to say that someone like Tony wouldn't have other options, but a lot of these guys, man, they're having to bend over to where and compromise, or otherwise they're not going to get paid. So whether it's intentional or, I mean, the whole Neil thing, that's a whole other discussion. But that whole thing with Neil, and allegedly that was something that was maybe blown out of proportion, but Jules seemed pretty sincere and very sincere, and I think it would be unfair to doubt her testimony, because it's a very strange thing. I think when you get into all this, like the NGO stuff and the nonprofit and the, Tony has always been sort of the guy that was the quote unquote advocate for skateboarding getting the Olympics and really taking everything. He's been there since, obviously, as an integral part of the whole transformation from X Games to all of that evolution of that, and then eventually into the Olympics. And so you can only imagine that when you get to that kind of level of where the type of people that you're associating with at the highest level of governments and of the UN and all these and then, and we can see that, like, it's ironic because all these guys who not all of them, but many guys who happen to be doing these things for the goodwill of children, and they have, protecting children, advocating for children's rights, or yada, yada, yada. Those seem to always be the same guys that happen to get caught up in some scandalous stuff, so I'm not accusing Tony of that. At the same time, the complacency is pretty disgusting. I think that the thing that we know for sure is that when you do this contrived sort of thing with Little Nas, and then you garner all this attention, Little Nas's crowd and Tony Hawk's crowd, you take that, you bring all these young eyeballs, all these young children, and you put them on Instagram and plop them in front of, you basically open their eyes to something that they would have never seen prior. And it's that, because Tony is idolized, I don't like to use that word, but he's looked up to and he's revered by all these young kids. Ultimately, any work that you might have done as a father can become immediately challenged when that child follows, okay, well, Tony is signing off on Little Nas and everything that Little Nas stands for. So, hey, it's not so bad. I mean, and that's, people can read it however they want. They can try to discount that, but that's how this works. And so that I find to be very problematic. This is a fun fact. This is a little bit of a detractor, but kind of a
fun fact. Let's have a
fun fact. Did you know that that one of the inventors named John Logie Baird, who invented the TV, he was a Scottish inventor, electrical engineer, and inventor who demonstrated his working television system in January 26, 1926. So he was one of the inventors of the TV. You know when he died?
No.
He died June 14th, 1946.
Okay.
The same day, the same exact day, a guy named Donald Trump was born. June 14th, 1946.
Wait, I interesting. It was too much. It almost went right. It went right over my head. It went, the dude who invented the TV.
The dude who invented the TV died on the same day as the king of TV was born.
Interesting. That is fascinating.
Donald Trump is the king of TV, bar none. There's no one more of a stronger TV personality historically than Donald Trump. There's no way. It's not even close.
He's the ultimate TV character, dude.
He's the ultimate TV character. He sold the juice. Remember that. He sold the juice harder than anyone. So I have a theory that it could be that the TV was created, for that purpose. So.
Well, it's the TV's a very heavy medium. I mean, they've all talked about it. I mean, you look at the whole ability of.
You gotta verify my words, though. I'm just
verify, dude.
Yeah, you gotta verify it. I just sent you the links.
Oh, it's all allegedly. Skaterix, allegedly, dude. I again is I think what we're trying to point out. It's not for me to figure out intentions, but these people are conducting an operation in the psyche of youth. And it's undeniable, especially you can argue accidental all day long until you get to the fact that the dude that we've been tracking down now owns a creativity talent agency, dude, that specializes in marketing, right? Like I don't think to say that there's any ignorance that can be hidden behind this collaboration right here, this dude and that dude, and then this shows up. This is the next post. If you're on the thing, is it goes from that to this, right? We move Little Nas gets back on the radar, goes right to this. And then you go right to here. This dude did no one talk? Did you know about this? Did you know that he was co-founder?
No idea.
Chairman of the board of Decal, the Unexpected Alliance, Unexpected Ideas. So to say that the whole liquid death, the selling your soul and the blood thing was just some dude who got asked to show up somewhere and do an ad for a company because, I don't know, he likes water, is ridiculous on its surface, because this dude right here actually is the chairman of the board of Decal, which is a creative talent marketing agency specializing in integrating themselves into social media, experimental activations. There you go. Experimental activations,
of course.
Conscious company transformation, product and service innovation, baby naming. What baby naming? The baby naming thing's popular because that was on the liquid death thing, right? Give your liquid death, your death name to your baby. Baby naming. It's right.
Weird, man.
And
what's weird, I'm not gonna I know it's a stretch, but I'm like, there's this number 22, keeps popping up. They have never take our 22 eyes off the road. Little Nas.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at 22. I'm looking at the number 22.
And what is the 22? What's our tie-in with the 22?
Well, 22 is associated with Aleister Crowley, as above, so below. It's a mirrored number, right? And so
sure.
2020 was a year where everyone was really converted over to atheism, in my opinion. Not
sure.
Everyone, but majority of people were converted to scientism. And so now, as the conversion of scientism has occurred, so they're also now getting converted to transhumanism through transgender, through the whole. And Little Nas is there as your kids are getting, as kids are getting primed to get injected and get sterilized. They're also going to get, they're going to get a school. They're going to get a school. They're going to get education from Little Nas's Instagram on how to really, expedite the process, so to say. So I just find it's interesting. Little Nas is 22. They have this thing.
Oh, okay. I get where you're going.
They have this thing. Decal agency has, we never take our 22 eyes off the road.
Well, did you catch my stream the other day where I was kind of doing some on the fly decoding about last year?
No.
Okay, so Oh, wait, my buddy, my secret agent said, look at the logo on the thing. Wait, hold on. The logo on the D thing. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a flag. It's the cute flag.
I know it's the pride rainbow stuff.
It's not that though. You guys, it's the Noahide. It's the Noahide logo. People keep the whole LGBTQ is actually the Noahide logo. Look, just type in Noahidism.
How do I spell it?
NOA.
Wait, my things operate. I've got probably too much stuff going on. Wait, NOA
H.
Hide. No hide laws. Is that what I'm looking for?
But yeah, and then just do an image search.
Noah Hyde. Okay, Noah Hyde.
Well, Noahidism or Noahide laws. Doesn't matter.
All right, images.
There you go. There's your rainbow flag. That's where Noahide. That's where the whole rainbow is from. That's the Shabbat. That's what Jared Kushner is a part of, and all these extremists.
So what are the here's what are the Noahide laws, dude? Oh wait, here we go. Here is prohibition on idolatry, prohibition on blasphemy, cursing the God's name, prohibition of murder, prohibition on robbery and theft.
Yeah, I have to tell you this stuff off the live because
okay, I got you.
You're gonna get a.
I think I remember we talked about
this. A watered down version of what it is.
Okay, I got you. So what the thing that I was tripping on the other day, right? If you go into last year's spell casting thing, right? So when the Orange Man comes in on and declares the national emergency, which locks us all down, that happened on Friday the 13th, March 13th, right? And remember, the Orange Man's big thing was this: we're going to end the lockdown by Easter, right? That was he kept saying, we're going to end it by Easter. We're going to end it by Easter. And why is Easter so important if in the Christian perspective, right? Is the death, the crucifixion and the resurrection of Christ, right? So we as a society we're still in the cave. I've been arguing this is when the Orange Man declares the national birthday on Friday the 13th, says that we're going to re-emerge out of the lockdown on Easter weekend. Easter weekend's all about the resurrection, right? Everyone thinks it's about the crucifixion. It's really about, that is the event, but it's about the resurrection because that's when Christ reappears and they show that God has the ultimate power over this temporal world, right? Christ is arisen. So we went into the lockdown on Friday the 13th. We were supposed to get out of the lockdown by Easter. The Orange Man kept saying Easter this, Easter that. Remember, we were all like, okay, Easter, like that's like middle of April. All right, great. We have never come out of the cave, which you get into what Plato's cave, or is it Socrates' cave? Plato's cave, right? We're still in the cave on the crucifixion of whatever you want to call it, symbolically speaking, because all these people are pulling out of symbology and all of this esoteric knowledge that they have. And I think that it's very fitting because I remembered the whole hype of we're getting out of this by Easter and we're still in it 18 months later, right? And the hustle of the Orange Man and his dark symbolism. And so, yeah, it's all tied together. The Noahide laws do
22 represents the clown.
22 represents the clown. Yeah, this is the year of the clown. That's for sure.
Rainbow is the root of the squirt. I found out there was a Pokemon named Squirtle.
Is there a Pokemon named Squirtle? Sounds about right, dude. We are in the midst of the our buddy right here. The rainbow is the root of the squirt. Yeah, okay. So 22 represents. Okay, we're the chat's on the thing, and so yeah, I think that when you begin to sort of, there's something much bigger afoot here, dude, and it's very hard for like my small mind.
Yeah.
but I
No, I mean,
take
you're
this,
not agreeing that your mind is small. I'm
no, but
agreeing
like
with you. I feel the same way. for
yeah,
sure.
like we can't comprehend
It's a
this.
lot. It's a lot to.
And I've been talking about this too the other day is this thing of free will, right? Where people are like, no, it's not that obvious. And maybe we touched on this the last stream. And I go, it's so obvious that two skateboarding dads whose lives are fully consumed with raising children are figuring can link this stuff together. So if you get into this thing of like if like you might have to, let's say we're both very people that are very tuned in with God. So we know that we're going to have to go meet our maker one day and go before God and attest for what we've done and what we haven't done. And more people are concerned about what they've done versus what they haven't done. And I think why you and I are simpatico is that we realize that we don't want to be dudes that show up and have God ask you, what did you do to protect your children? And we'd be like, we didn't do anything. And God's like, I sent you all this information about all these people in your community that you participate and you had the platform, you had the stuff, and you didn't do anything about it, right? And why didn't you do it? I didn't know how to articulate it properly. I didn't know how to use the technology right. Well, we're limping our way through it, and mainly because like I want to be able to meet God and be like, you know what, I did the best I could to protect the children and wake up the adults to protect the children, right? And so that's coming from a God perspective. And I think that most people don't have that perspective, and they think they're going to get a free pass on this whole deal if they just mind their own business and put their head down and STFU and just mind their P's and Q's. And I'm pretty sure both the devil, from my perspective, and God are both going to be at some point and be like, look, dude, we gave you such obvious information that Jordan and Hamish were putting it together on a live stream on Sunday nights, stumbling into it, dude. And we might be totally off. I don't know. But I go, what are the odds of all of this stuff? I mean, the little Nas X thing's just too creepy for me to let go. And then you roll back to the whole Statistan and the NGOs and all these dark characters that seem to be in the hierarchy of skateboarding, right? And
it's all in the guise of benevolence. It's all benevolent and kind and it's inclusive. You know, these are the buzzwords, right, that everyone's come to just accept, you know. And so like, what's your problem, Hamish or Jordan? What's you guys' deal? What problems do you have with little Nas? He's just an artist. He's just expressing himself. And you know what? Tony was ripping yesterday, bro. What did you do? Tony was shredding the ramp. And you know what? He heard what you said about him, and he even shredded harder. And so it's like, well, yeah, monkeys.
Is my hill bombing video going to get deleted from the ride channel now?
Well, it's like, but this is the where we live in. We're in a society now that places people of little to no morals or principles, who could be the most depraved individuals, but if they can do tricks, or they could hit a 3-pointer, they could put together a little jingle song and dance around and tap dance. They could just tap dance their way, you know, through they could destroy the whole house. They could destroy the whole society, but as long as they're tap dancing, everything's cool. And this is what it is now, is that I don't think it's, definitely it's a lack of God consciousness, but even preceding that, it's like a lack of, it's like before you could even begin to seek God, you have to have an intention to change yourself and really wake up. And that has to happen when you have when you feel, I don't like the way I am. I don't like that whatever. I'm just saying hypothetically, like, I don't like the fact that I'm doing these evil deeds or these, I don't like if someone is addicted to something, like if they're addicted to pornography or they're addicted to alcoholism or they're addicted to drugs, before that person can, so to say, go through their transformation, they have to like put the brakes on. And I'm not saying, well, I don't want to judge, but that's where it has to start. And I don't know how many people from that brand or of those guys like Tony, I don't even think that that's even like, they're so far involved with their stuff that I don't even know if that's even an afterthought for them.
Well, I got it's that thing again is, see, I like, for me, like I way rather I prefer a bunch of DIY beer swilling, bong ripping dudes with pentagram thrasher tattoos on their backs, shredding some cement skate park they built, are to me like 100% way more legit than what's going on here with skateboarding, because they may be just doing their thing, but this is a bunch of clean cut dudes. These are dudes that are claiming they're clean cut skateboarding, Olympics, X Games, the street league and all this stuff. These aren't skateboarders that are up there. This isn't the dudes that are pouring concrete with listening to thrash metal, punching each other in the face, playing chokies. No, these are a bunch of dudes that are claiming to be legitimate.
I literally got punched in the face from Sage at Burnside. Like,
I bet you did, dude.
I was up there. He's like, Jordan Richter. I was like, dude, I cried I was like 15 or 16.
Remember punchies, right? Remember punchies? When you used to show up and you'd punch each other to see who could take the punch, right? Till you had enough. And then the dudes at the the dudes at the Burnside stepped it up and played chokies, right? Okay. And chokies was the whole concept. That chokies was you take each other around the neck and stare each other in the eye and choke each other till one of you submitted, dude.
Okay. Well, I got like Sage literally, like, I was in the car. I remember I was sitting in the back of a car and he was in like the passenger seat in the front. He turned around. He's like, "Welcome to Burnside, bro. The Jordan. Yeah, I love you, man." It was like, he punched me.
That's what I mean is what I don't like about this whole thing is these are the imposters. These are the dudes that have put on polo shirts and suits and gotten little leather finders with business proposals, and they've showed up and they're trying to hijack this thing, and they're trying to do it not on our backs. They're trying to do it on these third world kids' backs. And that's where I'm like not cool with it. Like, you want to try to hijack some kids down here at the Westlake skate park. I'm there. We're there. Like, where there's parents there, there's family units in the community there. But we're talking about these peoples have set their sights on third world areas and are taking this thing to them where there's broken families, there's poverty.
I just showed a friend of mine today who's going, he was born in Mazar Sharif in Afghanistan. I was literally just talking to him like 3 hours ago because I had to tell him about the video we did, Skatistan, because he's connected there. He's going back. He has land there. By the way, he said the old government of Afghanistan, for anyone who's in doubt, the old government of Afghanistan held his 3 houses they've had and land that they own as property owners. They like did some falsification on the paperwork, on the deeds of the house. So he said now the new government, it's not the Taliban. I mean, it's the Taliban, but it's the Taliban, Talimi banana. And
you've been listening to Pockets of the Future, dude.
Well, Paul Romano, man, yeah,
he's the man.
He's cool. But he was telling me, and he's like, he's like, this is the first time we can go back and get and take legal and have legal recourse to get our land back. He said there's a legitimate law there now that says, and he has family there real time, you know. So he's like, yeah, we can get our land back, we can get our houses back. The old government took our houses. He said the kind of criminality, and this goes to what you were saying before, he said the kind of criminality actually that's coming to America right now,
yeah,
are the worst of the worst. All those people who left, they are the rapists, they are the killers, they're the murderers. That's who they're bringing here. And so they have nothing to do with Islam. They have nothing to do with the religion of Islam at all. Zero. They're all, not all of them. I'm sure there's some, well, I don't know if there's any, but there's, yeah. So I'm saying all that to say is that hopefully that Skateistan thing is not going to be around, at least in Afghanistan, that much longer.
Well, I think again this is where I struggle with it all is you're talking to a guy who saw what was going on up in Portland and FDR and Washington Street and Channel Street and the DIY movement, right? And saw the reemergence of this culture of we're going to go back into City Hall and we're going to take what's ours and we're going to establish ourselves as a legitimate part of the community. And for me, where I feel truly betrayed by all this stuff that we're looking into on a certain level of my own ignorance is everything that I believed was the potential for it is being hijacked by this globalist agenda, because there's nothing at the core of me as a skateboarder. I believe that these were the city halls of the future. I was a dude who was like, I would say that at lobbying for the skate park in my community is this is going to be the city hall of the future. Because I was super fired up what Skateistan was doing in the beginning. I thought that was genius. Like, oh, we're going to do this thing and this, and because I want to believe in this thing, and then to discover that they've come in from the top down. See, I always viewed skateboarding as a bottom up reality, right? It's always seemed to be a very bottom up, at least in my experience, because I didn't live in the great commercialization of the 60s and the 70s. I'm an 80s guy. Like, we built our own half pipes. We drove miles we would drive all day to go up to Corey O'Brien's up in San Jose and sneak in the back door and all of that stuff. When Greer Park opened in Palo Alto, that was like, oh my God, they built a skate park thing.
How old are you? Yeah, how old are you again?
I'm 52.
Oh yeah, wow. Okay.
I mean, so
you're definitely.
I've been
Del Mar Skate Ranch.
Yeah, I've been through three incarnations of.
You were there where there was nothing. I mean, you were there when the Del Mar was there. You were Del Mar and Upland was.
Yeah, but I was up in the Bay Area, so I was skating like I was skating derby. Like I grew up skating derby skate park and half pipes in dudes' backyards and Buena Vista when the bottom was all broken.
Yeah.
So I've been through 3 rebirths of Buena Vista, right? Okay. And so I have a deep journey with it. Like I was at the Burnside during the pivot. I met Dawkin on the way when he was coming west at the Greyhound station in Chicago. I was at the FDR during the great 4th of July rebar rip out, dude, when the brawl happened because it wasn't vert enough, dude, and they ripped all the rebar out. Like, dude, I remember like just all of this stuff, man. I was skating like some funky park with Kerry Getz in rural Pennsylvania, dude. And I remember skating this barn in the Poconos. Like, we did all this stuff, right? And it was all based upon like skateboarders believing in what they did to build their own reality, right? And to see that this has been hijacked from the top down by a bunch of suit and tie globalist marketing
Olympic scumbagging dudes and that middle ground of skateboarding dudes have all been like, we're taking it all, dude. We're going to take over all of skateboarding and it's ours to go sell to the globalists, dude. And we're going to sell to the international world as like, we're skateboarding. And I think that's where I'm ranting now, but like to wrap it up, when we started our thing, my main beef was the fact that everybody, almost all the people that competed in the Olympics came from where? They didn't come from countries. They didn't come up from the countries. They came from Southern California, dude. Totally. And they all went around and represented these other.
I mean, countries. I grew up with like Rune Glifberg and all these guys. I mean, we all traveled and skated together for years.
Yeah, but these aren't hometown heroes. That it wasn't some girl who was the Finnish ripper that to represent Finland. It was a chick from Santa Monica, dude. As rad as she is, like on a level, like that chick Santa Monica through and through, dude. You know what I mean? How she gets to be the skater from Finland to me is the sham that offends me as a skater. Because if you wanted me to buy into your marketing, I don't want to swear. If you wanted me to buy into your marketing stuff, dude, you would have had some woman that I'd never heard of before that came up that was the hometown hero of some town in Finland. And you would have been like, oh, but it's the girl from Santa Monica, dude. That's hyping Visa cards, dude, and doing all this stuff. And I go, no, that's not the skateboarding. I want those dudes who built that basement park in Germany, right? The underground thing in the cellar, dude. Those dudes are supposed to be in the Olympics, dude. Yeah. Not some pro dude. As much as some of those dudes are rad, and I get the thing, but no, sorry, dude. Nah, that's not what it's supposed to be. Dude.
No, I hear you. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, yeah, it's totally
Where was the Jamaican bobsled team of skateboarding at the Olympics, dude?
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, there should have been bobsled.
You're telling me there was nobody? Was there anybody representing Russia?
I didn't see a Vlad in there.
Did you? Because there's some gnarly that one kid in Russia is insane. There's so much talent.
That one guy, what's his name? That guy, that Nike, he's like a blunt guy. He did the alley-oop nose one slide front long time ago.
But anyway, I mean, you get what, like
Yorkie.
Like it sucks because like you're talking to a believer, dude, that like we could actually change the world because no one saw us coming, that skateboarding was a crime and that was to our benefit, dude.
David B is asking, who are the venture capitalist groups financing all this? That's a great question. Obviously, it's either BlackRock or or Vanguard at the top. But that's what I was thinking when you pulled up Decal. I was like, well, I wonder who is the parent company of Decal.
Well, we got more. We'll do some deeper.
Yeah, we'll do a deeper dive next time. But that's
well, we got our homework because I think that we're just two dudes who care. That's all I mean. I don't. But I'm not. I'm offended personally.
No. So my son is he's getting into skateboarding a lot. You know what's crazy is that's been my dream. It's like I always want to have. One day I'm going to have a boy who's going to love skateboarding as much as I do. And now it's like my kid he's learning stuff now. He's ripping, he's skating good. 12-year-old, he's got some power and pump and he's stoked. But I'm so disenchanted with skateboarding and the whole entire thing that I find myself it's weird, man. I find myself not that I'm stoked that he loves skateboarding, but I'm weary of him being around it now.
You mean you're not going to pimp your child out? Like I used to see the whole Sky Brown thing go on live, and I would be like, it used to be so.
Oh yeah, I'm not obnoxious. Even into it. He asked me to post stuff on Instagram and for him, and I'm like, I'll do it every once in a while, but I'm not stoked on it. I'm not. I don't want to be that Yeah, it's it's weird, man. And when you see someone like, I know Tony. I mean, I used to sleep at Tony's house. I helped him build his ramp. It's not like I don't know these people. I grew up with these people. I skated Del Mar with them. You know, it's not like I have, you know, seen this guy over the years become who he became. And I've loved Christian and Stevie and Tony and all these guys so much as skateboarders, but now looking at like, they're just zipped closed. They don't say anything. They never want to, like, if you're going to have a platform of millions of quote unquote followers or hundreds of thousands of fans, and you don't say one thing that's thought provoking or that's going to challenge or rock the boat a little bit, that's very problematic for me. It's like, I don't like to use the word treacherous, but it's pretty treacherous.
It's again, as my pastor was talking about today, was if you want to be what you're supposed to be in God's eyes, you better stand up and be willing to like speak now, because you're going to have to answer for your silence. Totally. If you don't. And that's what it is. I don't know how far over the target we are or whatever. I don't even care. I'm just not going to sit here and say that this is okay. It's not. And it's.
What is that?
I don't know. Someone sent me something. I'm doing just a little like on the fly. We'll get back to it later, dude. Like, yeah, it's where we've gone over.
Yeah, no, I enjoy these conversations though. And I think it's somewhat therapeutic and it's cool, man. I mean, we're probably one of the few that are talking about this stuff within skateboarding, maybe the only ones. And that's fine.
That's good. Okay. I mean, we'll see.
Maybe we'll start a little chain reaction. But I enjoy it, brother. I do. And it's always so much to talk about. I was like, this week, I was like, I got to get some material together. And then I flaked. But
we did. This week's been tough, brother. It's been a full week of like life. Life's been heavy, dude. And I don't, we're two California dudes. We're watching the teeth close in and try not to like be the sky's falling guys too at the same time. Like it's, yeah, I just, where anyone out there, man, is be wary of where California goes right now. We're about to make the big turn one way or the other, dude. So it's heavy. This is our children's future, dude.
It's heavy, man. It is very heavy. I want to talk to you about that stuff we talked about in the beginning.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk tomorrow. And I love you, brother. God bless.
You too, bro. Later to your crew. Later, everyone.
All right. Good night.